pills for my heart. I'm supposed to take one if I have trouble. My daughter insisted that I take them with me. She was strongly against this little adventure, but I wasn't about to change my mind. It's uncomfortable for her when I talk to her in front of Lady Westmacott. She seems to take it as an inappropriate distraction from her work, although she's just knitting. Taking up a craft like that is typical of women who were told as little girls that idleness is a sin. I don't think the Baroness has any more information for me, and she's not the most pleasant conversationalist either.
Oh, hush, she's just rich.
The butler, this James, seems to have escaped the Baroness. Good day to you, sir.
Can I be of any assistance, sir?
I wanted to ask you a few questions. Where did you and the Baroness board the train?
In Paris, sir. The Baroness was there on behalf of a charity that she supported for many years.
So you weren't in London when they broke into the British Museum?
We may have been, actually. We left for Dover bright and early the morning after the burglary. But it was in Paris when we first heard of it. The morning paper in London didn't mention the unfortunate event, sir.
And just 2 days later, you're on a train bound for Switzerland. The Baroness certainly gets around.
Indeed, sir. We are practically always on the go.
What can you tell me about the Baroness?
Nothing, sir. A butler does not tattle.
If you'll pardon a rather odd question, are you really named James? That would be a lucky coincidence in your line of work.
My name, sir, is Clive Alfred Inch.
Your second name is Alfred, yet the Baroness calls you James.
Madam considers James to be the only forename suited to a butler, sir.
James, like, Jeeves? Ask Jeeves?
Isn't butler an odd choice of career? Butler? Many would say it's a strange job.
It is true that I am one of a dying breed, sir. The war claimed a generation of butlers.
Have you been to war as well?
Indeed, sir. I was a groom for a cavalry officer.
When you British talk about war, one is never sure which war you mean. It seems the situation hasn't changed much since the 30 Years' War, has it?
Shrapnel from a bomb dropped by a Fokker would not have wounded me in the 30 years.
Dropped by a what?
No, of course not. Goodbye, James. Or Alfred. I don't think he can tell me anything more of interest. I bet I could really get a grip on the bolt with these.
Well, come on then, hurry up.
Hello?
I barely left the window ajar.
Nothing to see.
Ah.
Are you okay?
Yes, fine.
Do you have any idea why the door was locked?
I don't know. Maybe the constant vibrations caused the lock to lock itself.
You can't possibly believe that.
Well, then what's your theory?
The conductor could have locked it from the outside. On the other hand, it could have been someone here in the compartment who locked the door from the inside.
Who? And where have they gone?
They could have climbed out there.
Who would be that insane?
You tell me, Professor. So, what are you hiding in your bag? What do you have that would be worth stealing?
No, nothing.
No valuables?
Certainly not. Not on my salary.
It was enough for a first-class compartment on a luxury train.
That's my business.
You're playing a dangerous game, Professor Lucien.
I think the professor is sitting and he's just looking straight ahead, straight level. So he's not even looking at him.
I believe you and the inspector do know each other.
Well, what makes you think that?
It seems like the two of you are running a haulage company specializing in safes.
I won't comment on that. It's a matter of international importance.
Tell me, Professor, would you happen to have a key in your briefcase? And if so, would it still happen to be there?
Then all would be as it should.
That's what we hope, at least. All the same, it would have been a simple matter for a thief to make an impression of it. Right, Professor?
Oh.
And the break-in? It wasn't an issue for you? Even though you're the head of the department where it occurred?
All right. The burglary was most upsetting. And shocking. And I didn't know what to do, okay?
And you couldn't just tell me that.
The fewer people who know about it, the better. I can't trust anyone.
You're not only going to Venice, are you? Could it be that your journey will continue? All the way to Egypt, perhaps? I'm on your side, but the more you lie to me, the more difficult you make my job. I'd like to look around a bit.
Of course.
Assuming there really was someone in the compartment, and he climbed out the window, where's he gone?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make what I suspect are fingerprints visible.
And? Found anything?
Unfortunately, no. There are only a couple of fingerprints on the window. It was probably clean before departure, but the prints I can see look like glove marks.
But wouldn't you expect that? What professional burglar wouldn't wear gloves?
It was worth a try. What's this?
What do you have there?
It's a button. From a suit or a uniform, I guess.
The burglar might have lost it.
Maybe. Or maybe not. If I notice anyone with a missing button on his jacket, I'll ask him about it. But I wouldn't get my hopes up. If there was a burglar, he climbed out the window and jumped off the train. The Bible, Grimm's fairy tales, Moby Dick, and gin, whiskey, and rum. All classics. No, nothing interesting. Wow, that's a very nice fountain pen. Pricey.
If you'd managed to decode hieroglyphics that boggled the best minds of the last 3,000 years, you'd have received a gift like that as well.
I really wonder what the professor is hiding from me. But I can't just rifle through the luggage of innocent citizens. This is the 60s.
Yeah, this isn't 2020.
He's hiding something from me, and I have to find out what it is. Professor Lucien?
Yes?
Professor. The good professor is hiding something. It would be good if I could find out more about him. For brave Constable Anton Jacob Zeller, whose time shall surely come, Clarissa Westmacott, DBE. I found the button in front of the window in the archaeologist's compartment. The burglar might have lost it while climbing out the window, but there's no proof for my theory.
Professor Lucien.
Door is open. How can I help you, Constable Zelda?
Professor.
I walk in just to leave.
Hey, Matt. The violinist really did steal the purse. Well observed.
I knew it! I bet he's got more stuff planned. I'll stay here and keep an eye on him secretly. Okay?
Sounds like a plan. I don't think he can tell me anything.
Pardon me, sir. We could have used you a few minutes ago.
There are thousands of things I would like to ask her, but nothing would justify neglecting my duties here on the train. I'd better let him read.
If I can go talk to that train conductor person. Nope.
Inspector Legrand?
Anything to report?
Baroness von Trebitz told me about her missing purse.
Baroness von Trebitz. She is financing everything, isn't she?
Indeed, sir.
I found the purse. David Kreutzer, a violinist from Austria, had it.
Probably nothing to do with our case. All the same, good work.
I got Professor Lucien into his compartment using a pair of pliers.
Did you notice anything inside the compartment?
The window was open. Someone could have climbed out.
And the professor?
Acted suspiciously. He rummaged around in his leather bag.
And?
He seemed to have found what he was searching for.
Good. Good work.
Now, perhaps you could give me some information.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out.
Flashlights! Get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
Oh, it's a raven feather.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box.
What the dickens? It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
Is everyone all right? Are you hurt? Quick thinking. Well done, Zellner.
I think he probably could have put it back into the safe.
I think the tunnel collapsed.
Then he's trapped. Hurry, we have to lock the second exit.
Sir, there's a fire up ahead. The engine's burning.
It's a distraction. Hurry, block the exit.
But sir...
The fire will consume all the oxygen.
He's right, Inspector. A fire in a narrow tunnel is extremely dangerous.
Merde. Go to the front of the train, find the engineer, and tell him to move the train out of the tunnel.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? You have to uncouple the freight car. You understand?
I understand.
I'll see to the passengers. They should all wait in the tunnel. We'll check each one in turn as they go out.
Let's get to it. A lot was damaged by the sudden stop, but the bowl was thick enough to survive the fall. My God, what a fire. I hope Constable Oliver can at least reach the engine. Champagne, the finest. Maybe we'll open a bottle if we get out of the tunnel alive. Until then, though, it's no use to me. Whiskey, scotch, rum, liqueurs, enough to entertain everyone on the train all the way from Paris to Istanbul. High-proof rum. Could be useful.
That's what I would say in one of these situations.
Carling Black Label. A British beer. No good. Insufficient alcohol content. For practical purposes, I mean. Not for drinking.
What other practical needs do you have?
Oh, pardon me. I did not mean to scare you.
Oh my God, he's so scary.
What are you doing here, Doctor?
Legrand asked me to check whether there are any passengers left on the train.
Really? No one is here, except for me and you.
Excellent. Then I will continue searching at the front.
Did anyone act suspiciously before the explosion? Did anyone leave their seat, for example?
I was the only one on the train who wasn't seated when the freight car exploded. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have been caught by the blast as well.
You certainly were lucky.
Perhaps I was. What happened over there? The inspector said something about gas canisters that exploded.
Let's just avoid the question.
The investigations are ongoing, but first we have to get the burning train out of the tunnel.
Oh, of course.
How are the passengers?
They are in a state of shock, of course. The blackout and the sudden stop were frightening enough, but then the explosion, the dust, everyone rushed for the exits. I was helping the American woman bring Lady Westmacott to safety. They are waiting outside in the tunnel. One entrance is blocked by a fire, and the other one seems to have collapsed.
Continue to search the train. I'll decouple the buried freight car.
All right.
Doctor? Can you give me a few matches?
Oh, certainly.
Thanks. I'll meet you outside.
Do hurry.
A fine, but rather heavy curtain. The surface shimmers and feels smooth. Probably doesn't burn easily, like the tablecloths. Safety regulations require it, which, given the present situation, is actually a good thing. The chair either fell over thanks to the sudden stop, or an escaping passenger knocked it over. Wanting to get off the train as quickly as possible after a sudden stop and a massive tremor, that's understandable. I noticed the extinguisher earlier doesn't match the decor. I suppose that the railway company had to comply with safety regulations at the cost of aesthetics. It'd be useless against the fire out there, and it's too cumbersome to carry around. At best, I can use it here. The inspector's trap failed. The thief must have got wind of it. Worse than that, he turned the tables. To win a game of cat and mouse, you have to know who is the cat and who is the mouse. It's still quite warm and too warped to open. The wheels came off the track during the explosion. Even if it were possible to pull the car out of the rubble, you wouldn't get far with it. I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing. There's a noticeable draft here. Maybe it's because of the fire, or perhaps there's still a hole through which the air is coming. The latter will be quite welcome. It will buy us some more time. I'm sure I could uncouple the car if I only had enough light to see what I'm doing. Hello? Nothing. I expect the rum will burn like ethanol, but I better not test that theory in the bottle. The last of the candy has vanished. Measured against the exploding freight car, I think the railway will overlook the loss. That should do it. Can't really say the fabric was eager to soak up the rum. I, on the other hand, soaked up enough in my fingers to smell like a drunk. Even if I could set the fabric alight, how would I carry the fire? I should concentrate on uncoupling the freight car. I'm positive that Legrand has everything else under control. Must be good for something. There's a pretty intense draft here. The fire is sucking up the oxygen. Can't see anything up there. Too much dust and smoke in the air. A fine, but rather heavy curtain. The surface shimmers and feels smooth. Probably doesn't burn easily, like the tablecloths. Safety regulations are... That'll get me something like a Molotov cocktail. I want light, but I don't want it to come from a wall of flames. The other passengers escaped from the train. I can see their silhouettes in the light of the fire. If I don't hurry up and uncouple the freight car, they'll suffocate.
Alright. We'll solve this one next.